Good morning, Ultimate Hustlers and Digital Empire Builders. It is that time for the Cortez Hustle Show. And today we're starting a two-part series, 25 mental health and wellness tips for entrepreneurs. That's right, as entrepreneurs, we got to take care of our mental health and wellness just like everybody else, probably more so than everybody else. So we're going to talk about that based on this article that I have for you. And of course, I'm going to share the resource with you guys as well. So I need y'all to do me a huge favor. Comment in the chat where you're from. Drop the name of your business and or your brand and smash that show button, ladies and gentlemen. And let's kick it this morning. Yo, what's up, Ultimate Hustlers, and welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, the business podcast for the entrepreneur of the 21st century. And I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. Our goal is to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how the world's greatest hustlers build amazing brands, scale their businesses to incredible heights, sell more, make more, and create mass movements that impact the world. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned vet or you're sitting on the sidelines with aspirations to one day unleash your inner hustle. This show will provide the insights into how pure grit, determination, and hard work has morphed into some of the most iconic brands and personalities and how they are moving the culture forward. You'll get a mix of solo shows featuring yours truly, as well as interviews and content from other hustlers that I either know personally or I've learned from or whose grind I've come to know and respect. And you'll also get exclusive recordings from our membership called Monetize My Life Academy, which you can check out at monetizemylifeacademy.com. That's a program where we go live every month with some of the best hustlers on the planet, sharing best practices on how we all can explode our brands with advanced branding and marketing tactics, business development strategies, and financial game planning necessary to build the empires we all desire. Again, that's at monetizemylifeacademy.com. If you like today's episode, chances are the hustlers you're connected to will like it as well. Share it with those in your network. And when you do, use hashtag Cortez Hustle so I can see you and hopefully give you a shout out and share you in my stories. So check out today's episode and make sure you subscribe to the feed on your favorite podcasting networks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show. I am, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, coming to you live and direct from the Thornton Online Marketing Studios right here in St. Louis, Missouri, where all we want to do is see small businesses win, 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 no matter what. So if you're running a small business and you need some help with your marketing, then all you got to do is text local biz to 314-730-3999 to get on our calendar to get a free marketing strategy session. And we'll literally take a look at what you got going on. See what you could be doing better. And if we can help you do it better, then of course we'd make you an offer. So check it out. Text local biz to 314-730-3999. Today, we're talking 25 mental health and wellness tips for entrepreneurs. Sometimes one of the last things that is on our mind as entrepreneurs is the state of our mental health, state of our physical health, and self-care in general. So I want to help you guys with that today. But I need you guys to do me a favor. I need you to comment in the chat. Where you from? What's the name of your business and or your brand? And what problem do you solve? It's important to practice doing that on a regular basis because as Dr. George Fraser says, it's not who you know, it's who knows you and what they know about you. And here's your opportunity to tell everybody a little bit about yourself. Just don't get crazy spammy and throwing links and all that kind of stuff in. But we certainly want to know what it is that you do, how you do it. And if there's someone who's following this stream, there's over 122,000 people follow this one page alone. Another 4,000 or 5,000 follow the YouTube channel. So you never know who might see your comment about what you do and want to connect with you. So as we do on a regular basis, a couple quick announcements as we start the show. I've got to give a huge shout out to a few people. When you decide that you want to do something, it is important for you to say it, write it, and repeat it frequently. So this year, my initiative for 2022 They said, I'm going to find a group of entrepreneurs in the local St. Louis metro area, and I'm going to network, and we're going to build together, and we're going to be each other's support system, and we're going to do business with one another and all of that good stuff. And yesterday, I had the honor, privilege, and pleasure to hang out with Chris and Lanice over at Trio Banquet Center and Rentals. They had a Block on Business Chit Chat, which was basically a networking event for Black business owners to come and talk about things that they're challenged with, the things that they are facing, what they're trying to do, their goals, and create basically an ecosystem and an accountability system for us to plug into. So also Amelia Robertson actually was the host of the event. So shout out to Amelia. And then they also brought in Nicole Tyler from PHP to talk about small business retirement planning and money tips specific for entrepreneurs and specific for Black entrepreneurs at that. So it was an amazing event. They're doing it every single month, I believe the second Wednesday of every month. So next month on the 13th, guess what? They've asked your boy to come in to talk about business growth strategies using digital marketing. So I'm excited about that as well. Also, if you are a business owner and you are serious about your business and you want some free exposure, I'm still opening the platform up to business owners to join me on what I call Inside the Hustle. It's a short 5 to 7 minute interview where we just talk about what you got going on and share your products and services with our audience. If you're interested in that, then all you got to do is inbox us here at the show, and we'll get you scheduled for one of those Inside the Hustle interviews. And that's going to do it for announcements today. Again, we're talking 25 mental health and wellness tips for entrepreneurs. So if you're new to the Cortez Hustle Show, we start every episode with a quote of the day. And today's quote says this: so many say they want to change, but so few are willing to pay the price to change. I'm gonna run that back for y'all. Everybody is talking about, man, I want to change. I need to make a change. But few are willing to pay the price to change. Yeah, it's gonna cost you something to change. It's gonna cost you some time, energy, and effort first and foremost. It might even cost you some relationships, because the reason that you are staying the way that you are is because of the people that you've surrounded yourself with, the environment that you have created. You have gotten comfortable in that environment, and it doesn't require you to change to stay in that environment. You might have to change. Well, there's no mic to this one. You will absolutely have to change the way you think. And there's a price to that, because we think along the same lines of the people that we associate with the most. And the moment we step out of agreement with those people, it causes friction. I want y'all to think about that. When you think and agree with everything that someone does and y'all hanging out, it's easy to walk in tandem with someone that you're in agreement with. In fact, the Bible talks about how the two walk together unless they agree. The minute you change the way you think, chances are it's going to create conflict and contradiction with the way the people that are currently around you are thinking. And that's how it's going to cost you some relationships. I want y'all to think about that. Are you willing to pay the price to change? Because there is a price to pay. Just like there is a price for remaining the same. You don't want to change and you stay the same, there's a price that you pay for that too. So just wanted to drop that in your spirit. That is quote of the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by the Social Media Consistency Challenge. If you, my friends, are having problems with being consistent on social media, then I want you to text the phrase daily hustle to 314-730-3999. If you text the phrase daily hustle to 314-730-3999,
You're going to join an accountability group where we literally will send you stuff to post on your social media every day via email. And not only will we send you what to post, we send you the captions and the hashtags to post too. Then we send you a short video that explains to you how to turn that one piece of content into multiple pieces of content and kind of helps you start to mold your mind into that of a content creator. Yeah, we want to help you. We want to hold you accountable. So we make it easy for you. So text Daily Hustle to 314-730-3999 to get on the list, and you will start getting those messages starting today. Like, no joke. And all you have to do is follow those instructions, post every day, and you'll create the right habits. And then around those habits, eventually, it won't be long before you'll know how to do that on your own. So we do that for 21 days straight. That's right, 21 days. Why 21 days? Because you do anything 21 days in a row, chances are it's going to become a habit. So I'm going to post that in the comments as well. Text Daily Hustle to 314-730-3999. It's the same number across the bottom of the screen, but instead of local biz, if you want to join the social media consistency challenge, you're going to text Daily Hustle to that number. So let's get into today's meat. I've also posted in the comments an article from Calvin Rosser. It says 25 mental health and wellness tips for entrepreneurs and business owners. This is part one of a two-part series. Tomorrow, you guys know that we do Free Game Friday where we answer your questions. So the second part of this will save to next week, but at least we'll get you started on these lines, man. Mental health is critically important for all of us. But entrepreneurs, sometimes we go so hard and we run, and we push the limits. And that's what makes entrepreneurs great. But entrepreneurs need self-care like everybody else. So we're going to get into this article. It says entrepreneurship is hard. Coming up with an idea, launching your product, and growing your business over time comes with many peaks and valleys. To build a successful business over the long haul, you need to keep your mind, body, and soul sharp. But how do you do it? That, my friend, is the question. How do you stay sharp mentally? How do you focus on the things that need to be done without losing sight of the one and only true asset that you have on this planet, and that is your physical and mental well-being, right? How do you make sure you don't lose sight of those things? Number one on the list, and it's no surprise, practice self-care. So what he did is he actually found content from some of the top entrepreneurs around the globe, and he got some interviews and some content from them and how they are approaching their mental health and wellness. And I want to say this, man. Some people don't see this as a business strategy. Like, my morning workout is a business strategy, right? The reason I'm so energetic, the reason I'm so consistent getting up and producing a show every single morning is because of the way I treat my body, the way I treat my mindset, right? The way I feed myself. That is a business strategy in and of itself. So when you now realize that taking care of myself can give me a competitive edge in business, now you start to be more intentional, right? One of the things that I'm starting to do now for not only my physical health, but for my aesthetics too, right? I'm telling my wife that I'm starting to develop a little gut, right? My gut is starting to done lapped over my belt, and I don't like that, right? Call me vain or whatever. If I don't like something about me because of me, then I'm going to change it. Now, if you don't like something about me and I'm cool with it, then you can go kick rocks. But I don't like the way my gut looks. So I said, I'm going to stop eating after a certain time, right? That's going to help me with my gut. But do you realize that gut health is, they say your gut is like the second brain, right? And when you don't have good gut health, it leads to mental fog. Who in business needs to be dealing with mental fog? I need to be sharp. So if you didn't have a motivation to get physically fit, use the fact that being physically healthier can make you a better entrepreneur. Use that as motivation, right? So self-care is number one. And this is a quote from Manny Hernandez, founder and CEO of Omni. And the reason I always give you guys the articles, because there's a link to go and learn more about Omni and Manny Hernandez's company if you want to, right? One thing I have learned from my experience as an entrepreneur is the importance of self-care. As an entrepreneur, the best thing you can do for your business is to create a practice of self-care. Stress is a normal physical and emotional response to a threatening or overwhelming task or situation that can have more major consequences if not managed properly. And all of us in business, we have these deadlines, we have this pressure to provide good customer service, to launch new products, to hit targets, whether they're financial targets or customer acquisition targets or whatever those things are. That creates a certain amount of stress, right? Key becomes practicing self-care. Stress is going to play a role in your life, so learning how to deal with it is very vital. One of the best ways that works for me is self-care. Self-care is when you choose behaviors that balance the effects of emotional and physical stress, such as exercising, eating healthy food, getting enough sleep, practicing yoga or meditation or relaxation techniques. How many of you guys are practicing a relaxation or meditation type technique every single day? My day starts with gratitude. Even before I get out of bed, I'm thinking to myself, here's another opportunity that I don't deserve to go out and win, to get it right, to make some corrections that I may have messed up on yesterday, right? Here's another opportunity, right? I start my day with gratitude. That to me is one of the ways that gets me going in the morning. So number one, we're talking mental health and wellness tips for entrepreneurs. Practice self-care. As an entrepreneur, you got a lot of stressors that show up in your life on a regular and consistent basis. And our bodies were not meant to constantly be under stress. They were not. Our stress responses were meant to be intense but intermittent, right? Think about where we come from. We have these stress responses known as fight or flight because every other day or so, there's something threatened our lives when we lived out in the wild and in the wilderness, right? You might have to run from your life because something is trying to kill you, right? So fight or flight. But in today's world, we have stress, that amount of stress on us 24/7 sometimes. And you got to know how to deal with the stress. Number two, share your struggles. This is from CEO and co-founder of Tranquility Online, Mr. Joel Muse. The one habit or practice that has been the most helpful for me, especially regarding stress as it relates to my professional life, has been to try my best to share my struggles with other entrepreneurs, business executives, my friends, and even my team. This is why I was at Trio Banquet Center last night, to make real, genuine connections with other entrepreneurs, because sometimes people in your life don't understand the struggle of being an entrepreneur if they've never tried to start and or run a business. And talking to them can add even more stress to your life, because they'll say things like, "Oh man, that's too much work. You might as well quit and get a job," right? That's the last thing you want to tell an entrepreneur, right? Especially one that you supposedly love, right? But you gotta find a community, an ecosystem. And let me just take a minute to talk about Chris and Lenise, owners of Trio Banquet Center and Rentals. And I shared this with them last night when I saw them face to face, that one of the things that drew me to them is they have an event space. So I saw one of their flyers on social media promoting an event that somebody else had rented their space to throw this event. And when I saw that, I said, man, they have the event space rental, the space that they've rented to this other entrepreneur who's throwing an event. They don't have any obligation whatsoever to promote that person's event. And when you go to most event spaces, they don't go out of their way to promote your event. I thought that was pretty cool. And then I looked and saw that they also provided a food vendor for that person's event. So here is a Black-owned business with an event space, giving an opportunity to another entrepreneur to win in business. And then they have yet a third entrepreneur, a food vendor, also in that space. But then when I got to talking to them last night, I realized that they not only just giving those people opportunities to win, but they've created an ecosystem where by default, you have a bunch of other entrepreneurs to now connect with and share your struggles with. That, my friends, is important. Who are you talking to on those nights when you feel like you do want to give up and you need somebody to talk you off the ledge, so to speak? That's important, man. Find some entrepreneurial besties, as they called it last night. Find a group of people, whether they're in your industry or not, that can understand the struggles that you may be dealing with customer relations, the struggles that you may be going through with product development, the struggles that you may be going through hiring staff and those types of things. It's important to have outlets to talk to. So we're talking 25 mental health and wellness tips. Do me a favor, if you guys have not already hit that share button, it will mean a lot to me if you share, right? It would mean even more to me if you want to give your boys some stars, right? Facebook allows me to monetize my content. If you're on YouTube, then you can also provide a monetary gift to me as well. But I put the link inside of the comments so that you want to go out and to Facebook, buy the stars, and then you can give me stars on the live broadcast. That's a way that you can help me continue the work that I'm doing to bring this kind of information to entrepreneurs. But before we go any further, it is 7:23. So y'all know what time it is. It's time for 1 Minute Motivation. And we've been listening to and learning from, during this series of 1 Minute Motivation videos, the great Arnold Schwarzenegger. So if you're new to the show, 1 Minute Motivation is where we play a short motivational clip, usually 60 to 90 seconds or so. And I ask you to give you a couple takeaways. I'm going to give a couple takeaways. So let's get into 1 Minute Motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show.
Do you know how great it felt that I knew where I was going? Imagine the majority of people don't know where they're going. I knew where I was going, that I'm going to become this bodybuilding champion just like him. So it was just a question of how do you do it? I was so relieved, because when you have a goal, when you have a vision, everything becomes easy. Because remember that in America, for instance, when you study, you will see the percentage of people that like their jobs. 74% hate their job in America. Now, this is not much different when you come to Europe. The majority of people don't like what they're doing, because they're really not doing it because they didn't have a goal and they followed this goal. They just aimlessly drift around, and then all of a sudden there's a job opening, so they get that job because you have to work. But then when you work, it's a chore. It's work. It's not fun. So if you think about, only a quarter of the people really enjoy what they're doing in life. That is unbelievable if you think about it. So I felt so blessed that I knew what I was doing. It's like a medical student that studies and knows he wants to become a doctor. You know where to go.
Hoo-wee. Man, listen, what did y'all hear? Sometimes it's you sleep on all the little nuggets that are in here, man. And I've got a couple that I want to share with you guys. So comment your takeaways from that clip. On the previous show, he was talking about how he got to the point where he had a plan, right? He was in the store, saw a magazine of a bodybuilding champion, and they talked about how that bodybuilding champion landed the role in a popular movie. And he was like, man, for the first time in his life, he saw a clear vision of a path to success and knew exactly what he wanted to do with his life. Napoleon Hill calls that definiteness of purpose. What is your definiteness of purpose or your definite chief aim? Have you decided or discovered what that is for you? My definite chief aim is to bring economic empowerment to the Black community by way of entrepreneurship, education, and business development. That's my definite chief aim, is to bring economic empowerment to the Black community by way of entrepreneurship, education, and business development. And that's why the show is called the Cortez Hustle Show. It's all about the hustle. Put it in the comments. What is your definite chief aim? And if you're still trying to figure that thing out, stop looking outside and start looking inside, because that's where the answer is. The answer is already on the inside of you. Just like an acorn has everything on the inside of it to become a great oak tree, the only thing it's missing is the right environment. You have everything inside of you to fulfill your definite chief aim. Sometimes the only thing that's missing is getting in the right environment, getting around the right people, right? So there's power in a definite chief aim. Find a blueprint, find someone who has success and model it. And it don't even always have to be, sometimes we're waiting on a mentor to show up in our lives and talk to every day. No, I've got a lot of virtual mentors, people that don't even know how much they've impacted my life because I study their work, like Russell Brunson and Brendan Burchard and Troy and Rashad over at Earn Your Leisure and David Shands at Social Proof Podcast and Wall Street Trapper and Ash Cash. And some of these guys don't even know me, but I consider them mentors. They have a blueprint. They are where I want to be. And here's the key to following someone's blueprint. Not only are they where I want to be, but they all once were where I am. You want someone to follow, not only pick people who are where you want to be, but did they also come from where you are? Because they can better relate. Like those guys came from poverty and middle-class homes, and they built empires so they can understand where I am now, and they can help me create a roadmap from where I am now to where they are. So that's important. Also understand this when it comes to a blueprint, when it comes to having a plan. And this is whether we're talking about your money, whether we're talking about your time, or whether we're talking about your life in general. If you don't have a plan for you, everybody else does. If you do not have a plan for your time, if you do not have a plan for your money, if you do not have a plan for your life, everybody else does. And that's why we see so many people doing things, being caught up in situations that they absolutely do not like and cannot stand because they've bought into someone else's plan for their money, their life, or their time. You got to change that, right? You got to change that. My man Mark says environment is huge, biggest part of the process. The Dream 100 that inspire and advise. Man, it's so critical, right? To find those folks who have already come from where you are and have already made a trail to where you want to be. Critical. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is 1 Minute Motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by Thornton Online Marketing, your premium digital marketing service. We help small businesses fill their calendars without paid advertisement. If you are interested in a free marketing strategy session, then I want you to text the phrase local biz to 314-730-3999. So that's a free marketing strategy. I'll put this in the comments section, or I'm actually going to put this on the screen. All right. And all you got to do is text. You'll get access to our calendar. Let's book a meeting. Let's look at what you have going on. Let's look at where you are, where you're trying to go. If we can bridge the gap, we will certainly show you how we can do that. And if we're a good fit to work with each other, we will make you an offer. So we're talking mental health and wellness tips for entrepreneurs. Number one on the list is practice self-care, right? That's number one. Number two, share your struggles with others. Become a part of a group, an ecosystem. If you guys are not part of the Black Biz Success Mastermind, that's a private Facebook group that we have. You guys can join that and meet other entrepreneurs on this journey with you. Number three, have a morning gratitude routine. I have 2 morning gratitude routines. When I first wake up, I'm laying in bed. I can reach over and feel my wife's chest going up and down. So she's breathing. That's relief number one. That's something to be grateful for. That just right off the bat, right? Look at my phone. No text messages in the middle of the night saying anything happened to anybody I love, right? Like, what's your gratitude? And then as I take my cold showers in the morning, one of the things that helped me get through taking my cold showers is I started to be grateful for the fact that I have running water that runs to my house. Whether it's cold or warm, there are people who do not have water that run to their residence, and they have to literally walk miles to take a dip in a creek, a river, or a lake, or something like that. I think about that kind of stuff, how blessed we are in so many things that we take for granted, right? So this is from Julie Ann Dokowitz, CEO and creative director at Girl in Heels Travels, right? For me, the one practice that I do each and every day without fail to help improve my mental health is a gratitude practice. Every day when I wake up, before even checking my phone, I light up some sage, put in my earphones, and zen out to some gentle music. Once I am comfortable, I set a 2 to 3 minute timer. And in that time, I give gratitude to as many things as I can in my life. And it can be large material things like my car that gives me transport to wherever I need, or to small things like my memory foam mattress that gives me proper rest, or even taking to the very simple basics like a hot shower. I want y'all to do me a favor, man. Those of you guys who are in position to comment, type one thing that you're grateful for. Put in the comments just one thing that you are grateful for, right? I heard Steve Harvey say this morning that a surefire way to kill negativity in your life is to utilize gratitude. He says, the minute I start having negative thoughts trying to overwhelm me, I start thinking about the things that I have to be grateful for. He said, not the things that I want, the things that I already have to be grateful for. And that's a surefire way to crush negativity in your life. Number 4 on the list. I put the link to the this article in the show notes as well as in the comments and the live chat as well. For those of you who are watching live, if you are listening to this on the recording, on the podcast, then in the show notes, the link to this article is there for your pleasure as well. Number 4, slow down. Slow down. Donnie Gamble, owner of Retirement Investments. This is a topic I'm passionate about and spend a lot of time researching because it is a big deal for every business owner and entrepreneur, especially in 2020. I live as a digital nomad along with with many others, and I see them try to fit too much into one day. They scramble through their work, run out the door to rush through an activity in a strange place, skip a meal in the process, and worry about the poor work they turned in throughout the day. Slow down. I'm learning this as I continue to grow on this entrepreneurial journey, right? I used to think that it was better to keep chopping at the tree with a dull axe than to take time and sharpen the blade. That was my thought process. It's like the blade is dull, but I got some momentum. I'm just going to keep chopping away versus saying, wait a minute, let me stop chopping and let me just take some time to sharpen the axe. And then when I go back to chopping, because the axe is sharp, it literally requires less effort to get the job done. When is the last time you slowed down to sharpen your axe? When is the last time you slowed down to build, develop, or refine a process that could make you more efficient? One of my things I used to say all the time, man, I don't got time to learn nothing new. Well, learning something new can improve efficiencies. And improving efficiencies can make you more productive in less time, therefore giving you more time back. So you got to learn how to slow down, right? Slow your life down, take a breath, and just reflect on things. Do it in the morning or in the evening or at random throughout the day as you can. Figure out self-care practice that allows you to slow things down to really get an idea of how you're doing, right? I'm getting more and more consistent with my high performance planner. And at the end of the day, there's reflection questions, right, that I have to answer about the day, which allows me to slow down and reflect, right? Number 5, journal out all the bad feelings. We're talking about mental health tips for entrepreneurs, but these work for anybody, right? But because this is the Cortez Hustle Show, talking about entrepreneurs. And do me a favor, if you have not already, hit the share button. Go ahead and share this. If you're listening to this on the actual podcast, whether it is Spotify, whether it's Stitcher, make sure you hit the follow button or make sure you hit the like button or the subscribe button so that you get notified every day as a new episode drops. And please take a few seconds to rate the show as well. We really appreciate that, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. Number 5, journal out all the bad. So this is from Crystal Walsh, founder of Crystal Walsh Copywriting. I've been working for myself for years as the owner of a website copywriting business. I loved my work, but I couldn't figure out why about half my days weren't very productive. Worse, those unproductive days were foggy, anxious, and full of mindless distractions. But then I realized that what was going on those unproductive, foggy, distracted days was that I was subconsciously being avoidant. I was doing whatever I could do to not think too deeply, which meant I avoided stretches of silence, solo work, or critical thought. By eating poorly, watching a quick television show, or checking Instagram over and over and over again, I was not letting my mind settle because I was afraid of my own thoughts. I can certainly relate. This used to be me. Because of the trauma I experienced as a kid, I literally hated to be alone because I didn't want to have the silence to give those thoughts opportunity to come back up where I would have to deal with them. Right? There was a time where whenever I got in the car, the radio was blaring. Whenever I came in the house, 2 or 3 TVs would be on, right? Because I didn't want the silence that will allow me to have to sit in my own thoughts because I didn't want to deal with the trauma that I had experienced. I didn't want to hear God talking to me about the calling that he had on my life. So I literally tried to keep it so noisy that I would drown those things out. I did. And it literally drove me crazy. Right? That's how I ended up in a mental institution. Because I was trying to drown out the pain. I was trying not to hear from my creator about the calling that he has on my life. I was trying not to deal with the traumas so that I could heal. But how many of you guys know that when you're wounded, sometimes you have to put yourself in more pain to get to the healing process? Sometimes if you for instance, if you've been burned, right, badly, one of the first things they have to do if you've been burned is they have to scrape away all the burned skin, which is more pain, from what I understand, than actually being burned. But if they don't do that, you have a wound and you don't clean it and disinfect it, then you could be setting yourself up for future disaster. So sometimes, in order to heal, you got to open up some pain. And I was running from that. Was not trying to be silent, was not trying to be alone, was not trying to be by myself, was not trying to hear from God, was not trying to deal with those emotions that were trying to bubble up. Nope, just drown that stuff out, man, and keep it moving. Right. Number 6, throw yourself a dance party. This is pretty funny. Jessica Gifford, founder and CEO of Thrive Growing Wellness. We all know that exercise is good for us. The only problem is that I hate doing it. Running and working out range from uncomfortable to downright painful, and they're boring. It takes a lot of willpower to do boring and uncomfortable things, and even when they're good for you. As an entrepreneur, I use up about 90% of my willpower on business-related tasks, which doesn't leave me much left for my health. Right. This is embarrassing to confess since I work in wellness field, but I am a big believer in doing things that are quick, easy, and effective. That's why I was delighted to find this article. Running 5 minutes a day has long-lasting benefits, which reports that 5 minutes of running per day had the same health benefits of running 30 minutes or longer. So what did she do? Surely even I could do 5 minutes of exercise, and surely getting my heart pumping for 5 minutes wouldn't be hard. So she started dancing. She would dance 2 or 3 songs that would give her about 5 minutes of high energy, high intensity, blood pumping activity. And she called it a dance party. Wow. When I tell y'all that exercise and fitness, moving your body, is a business strategy, please hear me. Please hear me. If you look at all of the CEOs of the biggest companies in the world, it's hard to find one that's not fit. I want you to think about this. If you look at the CEOs of the top performing companies, there are very few CEOs that are not fit in terms of healthy physically. Because think about what the potential of that is. I'm going to hand you the keys to a multi-billion-dollar international conglomerate. And you may be brilliant, you may be good at what you do, but you're overweight. But your life is out of control and chaotic. You might be brilliant, but at any moment, you could drop dead of a heart attack because you haven't taken care of it. You can't find many CEOs of companies that are doing well that do not care for themselves in terms of physical fitness, diet, and nutrition. You can't. So as the CEO of your life, the CEO of your business, hear me when I say one of the best business strategies you can deploy is a good diet, fitness, and nutrition routine. Just saying, folks, it works. Number 7, practice mindful meditation. Jack Wang, CEO of Amazing Beauty Hair. For me, it's mindful meditation. It only takes me 10 minutes a day to practice being in the moment, not ruminating about the past or worrying about the future. That is more than enough for me to get myself back to the present and center. I figure that it's helped me deal with stress and anxiety, which is crucial for all business owners. Being present. I have to remind myself over and over last night. You're here, Cortez. Be here. Like one of the things that Chris said, owner of Trio Banquet Center, said as he was listening to his podcast, he said, I heard someone say that entrepreneurs are time travelers, right? They go into the future and they see life as it could be, and they bring those ideas back to the present and they implement them to create those things, right? They go into the future and they see problems and they come back and start working on solutions that they anticipate will solve the problems that are coming down the pipeline, right? I want you to think about that in terms of your own development. And one of the things that I often find myself doing is floating into that future instead of enjoying the present moment. I remember when I was in high school, my wife now, we went to the same high school, right? All 4 years, but she wasn't checking for me back then. But she would always say that I had this look on my face as I was walking through the halls of Sodan, which is now Sodan International Studies here in St. Louis. And ultimately we transferred to another smaller school in the town that I grew up in called Wellston. She would say I would have this look on my face as I walked through those hallways, and she knew that I was not there, right? Because I was always in the future. As great of an advantage that is to have that kind of vision and be a visionary in that way, to go into the future and sit down and meet with the future Cortez and bring back ideas and implement those today to build the life that I see myself achieving in the future. You also have to enjoy the present. You also have to know how to be in the present. Life is all about how you manage those 3 planes, past, present, and future simultaneously. All life is time. It's the time that we lived in the past, it is the present, and it is what we're anticipating in the future. Our job is to figure out how do we live in all 3 dimensions simultaneously? How are we constantly bringing lessons from the past to use in the present to create a determined future? That's all life is. How do I take what I learned from my past, deploy it in the present in a way that is going to create an anticipated and intentional future for me? You know how to do that well and live in all three planes simultaneously, right? But one of the biggest challenges for me is to be present, right? I got to figure out how to balance. I live more of my time in the future than I do in the present. So I got to figure out how to use mindful meditation. Y'all all right? If y'all have not already, hit that share button for me. Number 8, develop an awesome morning routine. This, to me, has been a game changer. Like literally, there was a time when the Cortez Hustle Show started. It was one day a week. It was only on Mondays. And then the St. Louis Hustle podcast was only on Tuesdays. But what I realized is it did not allow me to be consistent in my morning routine. Because on Monday, I knew I had the show. So I had to get up extra early and I had to make sure that the show prep was done and all of that stuff. And I was ready to go. On Tuesday, I knew that the St. Louis Hustle podcast, the same thing. I had to get the show prep done. Me and my co-host, Michelle A., we would get together and all that kind of stuff. And I was ready. But then on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I had nothing. So my morning routine was different on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday than it was on Monday, Tuesday, because I didn't have the show. It didn't take long for me to figure out that the Cortez Hustle Show got to be the other days of the week too. So Jill Hickson, Chief Curator at the Art Arsenal. My one habit or practice that has most significantly improved my mental health and wellness. My morning routine to get me from bed to computer. Here's what she does. Stretch, breathe, and meditate while she's in bed. Right? I kind of do that with my gratitude. I'm thinking, I thank you, Lord. I thank you, Lord. I thank you, Lord. Here's another day for me to get it right. I thank you for giving me another shot this morning. I thank you that my wife is breathing. I thank you for my mom. I thank you for my brothers, my sisters. I think like really like in bed before I even get up, right? Then she makes her bed. She heat and drink a glass of lemon water while coffee is brewing, right? This is a morning routine from the Chief Curator, right? Ice face, then put on DIY face, lemon, and honey mask, right? This is her morning routine. Turn on the Today Show, sit down with my first cup of coffee at the computer, check my daily to-do list, tape to monitor, and check emails, address professional first, then personal, take a quick cold shower, get dressed, and then tune into the day's webinars. See, y'all thought I was the only one taking cold showers. There's something to that, y'all. There's something to that psychologically and physiologically, taking cold showers, right? It is literally one of the ways that you can instantly increase adrenaline in your body, right? It's powerful. It's powerful. And you're constantly putting yourself in an uncomfortable position every morning. You're willing yourself into an uncomfortable position so that when life gets uncomfortable for you, you're used to being uncomfortable, right? Very, very powerful stuff. This routine sets the day with structure and organization for a healthy mind, body, and business. For more routines, check out this 15-minute morning routine and this podcast. So let me grab these links for y'all too. Normally, I don't do this, but that's why I give you the link to this article. But I'm going to put this link in a live chat as well. There's a list of a 15-minute morning routine that you can adopt. And then there is the ultimate quarantine morning routine. I'll put that in here as well. All right. So number 9, and this will be the last one, and then we'll finish up next week, because y'all know tomorrow it is Free Game Fridays. Bring your questions about branding, about marketing, anything that you got going on, and we're going to have an open roundtable discussion about business on tomorrow. So number 9, transform your body. We're talking 25 mental health and wellness tips for entrepreneurs. Brett Prentice, co-founder of Instinct Marketing, says transform your body as a way to improve your mental health and wellness. The one habit that has significantly improved my mental health and wellness has been a change to a healthy lifestyle. I have lost 60 pounds in the past 5 months, and my productivity level has gone up significantly. I am even more inspired to push forward with my business and make it even more successful. I'm telling y'all, mental, physical health is a business strategy. It's a business strategy. Losing 60 pounds helped transform this person's business. For years, I have struggled with my weight, and in the past year, I genuinely feel I have lost clients because of the weight. I have always felt judged walking into a room of people and then asking them to do business with me. How can I help their business if I can barely take care of myself? It was a powerful lesson learned. My health deteriorated so much to a point I was in the emergency room because of the pain I experienced because of poor health decisions. There was a day where I knew I needed to make a change. Once I made that decision, everything in my life, especially Instinct Marketing, has changed for the better. I am so much more confident in meetings, sales pitches, and even the business owners can tell. It has led to more significant results for my business and created so many more opportunities. My weight loss journey has taught me so much as a person, a business owner, and I have taken so much more pride in what needs to get done. I'm telling y'all, if you want to give yourself a competitive edge in business, start treating your body better. Get on a good diet, nutrition, and fitness routine and watch that spill over into your business. There's a reason that people who want to recruit or build teams of people, there's a reason that they go after military people and they go after athletes. There's a reason. Because they understand the importance of maintaining and caring for their physical bodies and how that plays a role in everything else that they do. You can give yourself a distinct advantage. What did he say? Confidence and sales opportunities. His energy is probably up. When you think about that transformation, his ability to commit has probably changed and transformed. Are you kidding me? You want to take your business to the next level? Take your health to the next level. Man, it's 8 o'clock already, y'all. Listen, we got to get out of here, man. But as always, I appreciate y'all. Tomorrow it is Free Game Friday. We do our town hall style live training, coaching session, whatever you want to call it. We just, you ask questions and I try to answer to the best of my ability specific to your business. And this is your opportunity to be selfish. So ask me what it is that you will, and I'll try to help you on tomorrow. So make sure y'all come right back here to the same pages, same bad time, same bad channel, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to get it in. So until then, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.